How's it going, gamer? You got Hands here, and today in Dauntless we're going to show you another epic striker build that's all based on raw damage and critical strikes, so get ready. Alright gamers, here we go again. We have another pretty awesome epic striker build, and this one is pretty much based on maximum critical strike and raw damage. It's a very good strong build, and you can heroic solo anything or be a great addition to another team. First you want to get that Mistral Currents, which is Malkarion strikers, and then because you can add any cell you want to put a +3 raid cell. For the second one, put a +3 Iceborne cell. And then for the special, use Adamantium Bolt, and then for the mod, use Cyclone Strike Plate. I like that the best because it extends Tempest form for 10 seconds, and then if it's 10 seconds remaining, it does extra damage. And then I bond it to the Thundering Bolts, which is Drask's Strikers. That gives you +3 attunement, and it does +30 damage to the heads. Remember that. For your headpiece, you want Light's Crown, which is Rezakuri's helmet. That has a +3 conduit, and we're going to put a +3 cunning cell on there. For the chest piece, you want Drask's Plate, one of my favorite, that has +3 etheric attunement, and down here you want to put a +3 discipline cell. The discipline cell is from the Lady Luck and the store for trials and all that stuff, where you get those extra cells that you can't get anywhere else. So try trials out so you can get that good loot. And then for your gloves, you want Boreal Might, which is Boreas's gloves, and you want to put a +3 discipline cell in there as well. That has +3 rage. And then for your feet, you want Boreal March, Boreas's feet, that has +3 Iceborne, and we want to put a +3 cunning in there. And then for our lantern, it's Drask's Lantern, one of the best lanterns ever, because your insta-tap does +30% damage for 6 seconds, and the hull does some pretty good part damage, which I've mentioned many of times. And then you want to put a +3 conduit in there. And then that brings us to this pretty epic build that has +6 etheric attunement, which has a +50% chance for lantern charge attacks, so we can maintain that damage buff. And then +6 conduit, so we can get that extra attack speed. And then we'll have +6 cunning, which is 10% critical strike chance with a +30% critical strike damage. And these are all going to stack up, watch. And then +6 discipline brings us to +15% strike, and then that's 25% critical strike damage with these two right here, not to mention the strike buff damage that we get from it as well. It does drop us below 50% health, and that is why we're using Iceborne to help it out a lot more, because that drops you pretty low on health. It makes it kind of tough if you get hit. And this gives you lifesteal at 8%, which is pretty significant if you can just keep up the hitting. And our health never goes over 50%, so this works out great. And you get reduced damage as well. Right here, here's this bad boy, Rage. While we're under 50% health, which we will always be, we're doing another +25% damage. So think about that. With the lantern, that's 30, 40, 55% damage right there alone, not to mention the critical strike damage that these buff. Hey, if you like this video and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and bell for notifications. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me what you want me to work on next. This is Hands signing out. Peace.